I can't think of a single investment that's more important than to invest in the lives of our youngest citizens. But it's not even just investing in their lives, it's investing in all of us. And when you think about it, it's really a triple dip investment. It's investing in children, it's investing in parents as employees who can now go to work, and it's also investing in an early care and education field that's going to spend that money immediately and locally. Let me explain why. When we're talking about investing in children, we know that when children attend high quality preschool programs, by the time the children are 27 years old, every dollar we put into the program is yielding back $7.14 or so in societal savings, because the children are more likely to graduate from high school, more likely to be gainfully employed, more likely to own a home, more likely to pay property taxes, less likely to be incarcerated. And by the time the children are 45 years old, we're talking about $17 for every dollar that's put into the program. But besides that, besides the long-term investment in the lives of our children, we also know that when we invest in early care and education programs, it allows parents to be able to go to work because they rely on that for childcare in order to be gainfully employed. And that's important not only for parents as employees, but it's also important for Connecticut businesses. And so when we invest in early care and education, we're also investing in businesses and parents' employability. And finally, when we invest in early care and education, we're also investing in a workforce, an amazing workforce of early care and education providers in childcare programs that are center-based, home-based, public school-based, for-profit, all of these folks who care for our babies each and every day, who work for far less money than what they deserve. And when we invest in those programs, it allows them to be able to take that money and spend it immediately and locally within their communities. And that's good for Connecticut too. So when you're talking about early care and education, think of it as this way. It's a triple dip investment. And how many other triple dip investments, 3 for the price of 1, can you think about? I can't think of very many, except for this one. But when we think about early care and education, we also have to realize that the investments are important because we need these programs to be high quality. Well, what is a high quality preschool program or a high quality childcare program or high quality early childhood experience? Well, it's one where early care and education staff are fairly compensated. They're well trained and they're fairly compensated so that they'll stay in the field longer and accrue more experience and become more accustomed to working with children and more effective at it. It also means an early care and education workforce that's highly supported, that has the supports available to them in terms of mental health supports for how to deal with children with challenging behaviors, health supports, especially during a pandemic, and all of the other kind of pedagogical approaches and supports on those so that they can do the very best job that they can do. When children have access to a high quality early care and education program, it impacts the way in which they see school. When you think about a child beginning an early care and education program, this is the very beginning of their negotiating their experience, their relationship with school and learning. And if that goes well, then they're going to have a good experience with school and learning, and they're likely to continue all the way through and graduate and get gainfully employed. But if they get off to an uncertain start, because we haven't invested in early care and education, well, then it can actually harm their long-term ability to be able to succeed in education. And that's why it's important that we think of this as an investment. We invest in our children by investing in those who care for our children. If there's anything that I've learned over studying this topic for 30 years now, it's this: the measure of how much a society truly loves its children is how well we regard and care for those who care for our children. And it's time now that we start making the investments that we know that we should have been making all along in the lives of our children and in those parents who need gainful employment and in Connecticut businesses and also in our early care and education teachers. And so whatever it is that you do to help make the life of a child better, I thank you.